I'm Tandy Gutierrez, and this is your Pimp Your Mat Strengthener of the Week. This week we're doing hips. So the two variations that I'm going to show you on the mat are our Pilates single leg circles. Pretty common to the mat series, but the way we're going to do them is very specific to strengthening them internally. Why do we care about strengthening them? Well, they tend to be tight. So we did the stretches last week. Anything that is weak tends to be tight. So we stretch them out, then we go back and we strengthen them. That in turn lets other muscles do their job when you're trying to shape the hip and get them aesthetically to change. It also allows your lower abdominals to start to kick in and let you have access to them instead of the hip flexors sort of getting in the way. You can think about it as like a circuit that is sort of cross-wiring. When you're going in to do exercises and you are trying to target the low belly area, typically what happens is you start moving with your hip flexors. The legs start doing the work. So if you stretch them, then strengthen them, your lower abdominals have more of a chance to change and to strengthen and to flatten and to cinch. All the things that we're all after. Okay? So you're going to lie on your back. All you need is your mat. The first variation is a modification, but it's nice to do these into the other ones with clients, I think. So if your hips are really tight and it's uncomfortable to leave one leg long, you can bring it back up to that bent knee position, totally fine with this first variation. Arms are long down by your side. The knee comes up to a tabletop position, which is ankle in line with the knee, in line with the hip. You might need a mirror to check that because most people end up doing it here, and that's a different exercise. So you're trying to be 90 degrees. Your shin is parallel to the ceiling, okay? You all are going to be looking straight at the ceiling. You can just listen to my cueing, and I'm going to be checking in with you and being a little mean to my neck here. So you're going to make ovals with your shin on the ceiling, okay? You will go across the body first, cross, down, around, and up. They are not big. The goal is to feel like you are tracing the inside of the hip socket with your leg bone, okay? So as you circle, it may get a little closer to you, your knee, and that's okay too. And as it goes out, the foot and the knee is going to get a little farther away from you. That's all right. So you're creating an oval on the ceiling with your shin 6 times, and then you're going to go the opposite direction. You're going to go out, cross the body, and come up. You have an inhale for half the movement, exhale the other half, okay? Inhale, exhale around, trying to keep the shoulders open, that little tiny space underneath your low back, and then take that leg down, okay? Then switch to the other side. So again, trying to find your 90-degree tabletop position. You're knitting through the belly from the very beginning. It's like somebody just did duct tape across your hips and taped you to the floor. You don't want them rocking and rolling, okay? You're going to go cross, down, around, and stop. Cross, down, around, and stop. So you can think about the shin painting on the ceiling, that you're just making a really gorgeous full oval. What you could feel in the hip is that it feels like an octagon or a little jaggedy circle. The goal is to feel it start to smooth out over time, and that you make a really lovely, full, yummy circle from inside that hip socket. Okay, so you got one more here, and then go the other direction. You're going to go out, cross, and in. You may hear some popping, some sounds, some clicking. If that does happen, you can make the circle a little bit smaller. It might alleviate it. If not, try to get more core contraction. So you're going to inhale that belly button up towards your ribs and exhale to close the rib cage on it. Inhale and exhale it back in, rest, and lower it down. So the next version sometimes looks a little grand and doesn't have to be that grand. Okay, so you're going to extend the leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to extend it as straight as it'll go. So my leg goes straight. That doesn't mean yours needs to. If it's painful, if it's stressful, don't straighten it. A tiny bend in the knee is fine. What you're looking for is the knee over the hip, not necessarily a straight leg, because you can straighten it and it's way over here. It's not the angle we want. So it's exactly the same thing, it's just a longer leg. So point through the toe, that way the leg is on, and you've got this really gorgeous long drawing stick now. So now you're drawing a circle with your big toe. So you're going to draw about the size of a CD on the ceiling, no bigger. So you still got your cross, down, around, and up. You go across the body first. They're slow, they're controlled. You can see the shape that you're making. You can do one more, that's 6. And then you go the opposite direction. You go out, cross, and up. So you do go away from the body. It doesn't need to be very big. And then the goal is to try to get the inner thigh to cross the other inner thigh. So you've got an inhale and an exhale in. The entire time, the goal is to keep the belly nice and tight. So again, you're getting stabilization from your core, and you're letting the actual hip muscles do the work. And then take that leg down. Up the leg, okay? So you extend it up, you let it do what it can do. That doesn't mean that it has to be straight. Mine goes to straight, okay? Point through the toe, go across the body first. You've got inhale, exhale back. Inhale, exhale around. So cross, down, around, and up. Pretty simple. So cues, if you take a lot of Pilates that you've heard forever, ever, and ever, what you tend to see in class are giant sweeping circles. And you can do those. Those are totally fun. They're great for mobility. But if there's no stability in your core, or if you have hip issues, not really the wisest choice. Go the other direction. Out, cross, and up. Inhale, exhale, cross. So while the hip and the leg are doing work, your low belly is doing work, the leg on the floor is trying to stay heavy and stabilized. The shoulders are open, and the shoulders are away from your ears. So it's still a full body workout to do those 6 and 6, okay? So those are 2 hip strengtheners for the week. If you did the stretches last week, you can do all 3 of those, then these 2. There will be another hip strengthener coming. That one needs a toy, so you can leave it out or add it in. So thanks for joining me. This is your Pimp Your Mat Strengthener of the Week. Thanks.